Welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I want to share my opinion about FREELEE. Maybe you know her. She's a super famous YouTuber and she's been on YouTube for many years. She was definitely a huge influence on why I became vegan. And yeah, and I just noticed that currently there are so many hate videos about FREELEE, so I wanted to make a video where I share my opinion about FREELEE. So the first one is, and something that I super admire about her is, I think she's unapologetically herself. And this is definitely something that I want to maybe one day also share to my children, that it's important for them to be themselves and that it's okay for them to be themselves, and that the real value is not in how you look or which body type you are, but the real value is really in your heart, is in the inside of people, if you can say it in English. My English is super bad, I'm from Germany, but I still want to make this video. So yeah, just say to my children, if I have children, or to young girls, young boys, that it's really important to be yourself and it's okay to be yourself. And yeah, and that I love that how FREELEE is so unapologetically, like, she gets, I think, so much hate on social media, but nevertheless she posts so many videos, and her goal, in my opinion, is always to help people, and she just doesn't stop just because she gets a lot of hate. And that's something that I admire so much, that you just keep going because you want to help people. That's really amazing. Also, I think she's a great female role model because she is just doing her thing, you know, and I could understand why she gets a lot of hate from, because on YouTube especially there are so many people watching from so many different cultures. So for example, I'm from Germany, and in the German culture women have a lot of rights and they're pretty, like, seem pretty equal. So in my opinion, it might also be because our chancellor was Merkel, and she governed for many years, and I think it just showed that women can be as strong as men, or can be doing the same job. So I think for me, when I watch FREELEE, it seemed that she's just amazing, you know, super independent, and that's her thing, which I admire. But I can understand if it is just uneasy to watch if you're from a culture where maybe women don't have so much rights, or maybe women are more should, like, in the culture it's better for them for women to be seen as being more quiet. So yeah, I could maybe understand why she gets hate, because it's just different, maybe different cultures, but I admire her so much that she does her thing, and that's just really great. Another thing that I love about FREELEE is that she really tries to help animals. For her, it seems to me that this whole YouTube is not about making money, it's really about animal liberation and helping people. I mean, she always addresses how animals are kept, and she shows like what's really going on behind the sausage or the meat, how they are produced, how animals are treated. And I think that's amazing, because in our society maybe, or in social media, it seems to me that we are a little bit superficial, and that it's so much more important how you look than how compassionate you are. And I think the more people who understand what's going on in the production of meat and how animals are treated, and the more people can make this connection, the better. So I just want to say a big thank you to FREELEE, because she has influenced so many people. I think her YouTube channel has over millions and millions of clicks, which is incredible, and she definitely influenced me a lot. I turned vegan. I was vegetarian before, but I turned vegan in 2015. So 6 years ago, quite a long time, and she was definitely one, if not the biggest influence on me, because she shared just so much advice. And now also she's a big influence again, because now she's living off grid, and I think that's super interesting. And for me, even though I might not believe I want to live off grid, I definitely one day want to have like a family and live more in nature, and to really plant fruit trees and to see how she lives is really great. I also question, especially now with this current situation, you know what's going on, I really question governments. I question how efficient the government can help me, and how happy you can really be in a system, and all of that. So I question a lot, and just seeing her videos, this really helped me to I don't know, to have a different perspective on how you can live life. So I love that. What I love also is that she is straight to the point. I think maybe that's a quality that is more common in Germany. We don't really talk much like, oh, what like, we don't really talk so much. We are more like, this is how it is and this is how we talk. So very direct, very blunt, and I like that. And I can understand maybe why she gets a lot of hate from that, because I once read this anecdote of a king, and he wanted to know how far are the enemies away from his empire, so how much he has to prepare. So he sent away a young man, one of his workers, to check how far away the enemies are, and the young man checked and he saw that the enemies are coming. So he went straight back to the king and he said, the enemies are coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're pretty close. And the king was so angry and so frustrated that he didn't know, and that you know, that he was living a lie and that the enemies are already so close. So what he did, he chopped off the head of the young man. And this might sound strange, but I think this is what happens often in society when, for example, you are living your life in a way that is quite unhealthy, so you eat a lot of fast food and you think this is good and it does not influence you so much. And then there's someone like FREELEE who tells you, hey, listen, the way you live your life is not very good for you, for your health, for the planet, for the animals. So basically what you're doing is wrong. And the first reaction of most people is to say, who are you to tell me that I'm living wrong, and what are you telling me? I don't like you. So the first reaction is really hate, and you see it in a lot of comments that FREELEE get. But then what I find quite interesting is after maybe some months, some days, some years, a lot of years, some people or a lot of people, they start to think, hopefully. And so FREELEE gets a lot of comments, and I saw it in her comment section of people saying, hey, I've been vegan for 2 months and I hated on you so much before, but now I really understand. I've matured and I understand more the connection between food and the harm or the damage we do to our health. And yeah, and I want to say thank you to you. So, and it's the same with the king. Probably the king, in the first moment he chopped off the guy's head because he was so angry, but maybe after 10 days or 5 days he was very grateful for the young man to tell him, because now he can prepare for the enemies and he can change his way of living to prevent his empire to fall down. So that is why I think that FREELEE gets a lot of hate, but I just really admire her for speaking her truth, even though she gets that hate. And I think she points out a lot of things that are correct. For example, that a lot of people are eating crappy food and are harming their health and often their children's health. And yeah, I think what she talks about, a lot of things I agree, definitely. Yeah, so I like it. I like that she's super authentic. Also, I like that she's not selling supplements or selling different things, but she has her own products, her own books, where she gives a lot of value in those books, and she really wants to help young women to, yeah, just to be comfortable in their body, to appreciate that they're women and not that they're like plastic things who need operations to improve their self-esteem, but that the self-esteem should really come from inside, the self-value. And I love that message, because for me it's true. Like, for me, I think that you can look like the prettiest woman on the planet and you can still be mistreated by men. And what really is much more important than how you look is really how you interact with people, is how much of self-esteem you have. Because just because you're pretty or you have fake eyebrows or something, if you don't know how to set boundaries, your boyfriend can still mistreat you. So I would definitely set the value so much more on self-worth, that it comes from within. And I love that she shares that message. Yeah, so I love that. I love that she helps so many people, that she's unapologetic, always trying to help. And yeah, and also I think people sometimes forget that people on the internet, they are still human, they make mistakes. And Freelee shared a lot about her life, and she made maybe some mistakes, and people, I think, should sometimes be forgiving and say, okay, people make mistakes, it's okay. So that's why I definitely like Freelee, and I think it's a little bit unfair that she gets so much hate, because it's just, I mean, she just wants to help people. However, one point that I want to say that I might criticize about Freelee is that I personally would, instead of maybe making a video about a different person that is maybe not about food but more a personal thing, I would maybe try to get in contact with that person first. But maybe she did that, so I never know. Yeah, so that is basically my opinion about Freelee. She's a big role model to me. I believe that she's a big role model to a lot of people, and she has done so much for the planet. She has saved so many animals' lives. And what I think is also because she was such a big inspiration to me for going vegan, and I influenced a lot of other people, let it be friends or over YouTube, to go vegan as well. And I saved animals, she saved animals' lives, now I save animals' lives, and now my friends save animals' lives. So that's really amazing how much of an impact one person can have. So yeah, I really like her a lot, and I like her videos. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you want to learn more about me, then definitely check out my YouTube channel, subscribe. I share a lot of videos about health, and yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.